But have you ever wondered what it's like to live in a room without a window on a ship? A small room that looks like a box. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Discovery Princess. Welcome to my cabin. So today I'm going to be giving you a tour of where we actually live, where we relax when we're off duty, and of course, the places that we go. I'm going to be showing the behind the scenes, basically, of the ship life. But today I'm going to be focusing on showing you my cabin because a lot of you have been asking, you wanted to see the cabin. Yes, we live tight. The spaces are tight, right? But we make it work. But is it really tight? Okay, so now today I'm going to show you this cabin here, and then I'm going to show you another different cabin as well, where you'll be able to see the difference between cabins. With that said, before we get started, okay, so what I'm also going to do is to show you this beautiful new addition to the family, and that is the Discovery Princess, the ship which I'm currently on. So I'm going to go ahead and unveil it. I haven't opened it. I'm actually opening it for the first time with you guys. So here we go. You ready? Let's see what's in here. How beautiful. It looks a little bit smaller than your usual ones. And voila. There is a new addition to the family. It is the Discovery Princess. So that's the Discovery Princess right over here. Let's get started. And one of the things that you guys ask is that, do we pay rent while we're working on board a ship? So we do not pay rent. Everything is taken care of by the company that you work for. So this cabin right here, I don't pay rent, I don't pay water, I don't pay electricity. It's literally free. Yes, that's right. It is free. Is there a catch? There's always a catch somewhere, somehow, but I don't know what the catch is. It doesn't affect me, so we're good. As much as it is different from where I live, where I come from back home with my luxuries, this is the place that I'm going to be living for this next 6 months. So I want to make sure I try to make the best out of it. All right, so now we're going to start with the most important part of the room. Well, you could say it is the bathroom, but it is actually where I sleep. This here is where I actually sleep. This place is meant to accommodate 2 people, even though I live here by myself. That's why you see that there are 2 beds. This bed right over here, yes, you don't know that this is a bed. It's called the bunk bed. I can actually open that and then it becomes 2 beds. And then you have the bottom bunk and the upper bunk. Usually how it works, if there is 2 people from the same department, the first person that gets on board usually takes the advantage of the lower bunk. Because, well, people have a hard time going up the ladder to go up the top bunk, so usually they get to occupy the lower bunk. But for me, fortunately, I don't have a roommate. I don't share the room. That comes with my title, with my department as well. So I get to have the entire space all by myself. So let me show you how this actually works. I'm gonna go ahead and actually open up that bunk so you can see what that is. Sorry. Open that up, just like that. Just like that, you have a second bed here for your roommate, or maybe if you have a significant other on board a ship, they can take that because this is very small for 2 people to sleep over there. Rooms are very different. You're gonna get some other rooms that have windows. Right here, we call them the portals because they don't really open, right? But you can see outside, you can see the ocean. Some people live beneath the ocean. Some people live, above the ocean. I am above the ocean. I think 2 decks from here, it is going to be beneath the ocean. In case you're wondering what this is a ladder. Yes, it's obvious, right? So what you do is you hook it up over here and you get on the bed safely. So safety is #1 priority. Okay. So obviously the person that lives up here, they're gonna treat this as their room, as their private place, right? So they have curtains to open and close when they need to have privacy. Say for example, well, things happen on the ship. They go to the crew bar and then they find a beautiful lady. Maybe they wanna do a one-night stand, or maybe they found a relationship. This is gonna be their room as well. And if you have a girlfriend, if you have a significant other as well, you're also going to bring your girlfriend in the room because this is where you actually stay. So therefore, this is gonna be your privacy, okay? They're also gonna have their own light right over here. You turn that on just like that. And then downstairs, they're also gonna have their own light. Like I said and mention all the time, I don't need that because I live by myself. No wahala, no problem. Let's get down again. Safety is one of the most important things. So you want to make sure that you think of safety before you do anything else, so make sure to use the ladder. With that said, let's take that back. So as expressed earlier on, we do not need this, therefore it is going to. Okay, so I'll say this bed is very, very surprisingly very comfortable, I think. It's also worth mentioning that cabins can vary from ship to ship. For example, I've been in a cabin where I had a porthole, which is a window, two portholes, which is two windows, and the very same cabin we have a double bed, a bigger bed, as opposed to a single bed. So that varies from ship to ship depending on the berth of that ship. What I like about this here is that it's got a lot of space, even though it's got a smaller bed. In fact, it makes up for the bed, it's got a lot of space in it. So I can actually literally walk and run in here. Look how much space there is. I mean, just take a look at how much space there is in here. It is incredible and it is absolutely insane. Okay, so next up, let's talk about storage space. There is a lot of storage space on here. So if you see, we have 1 drawer, 2, 3, 4. Now, because this place is designed also to accommodate 2 people, so if you had a roommate, they will also take, out of the 4, they'll take 2 of these drawers because you literally have to share everything. And now in this case, I have my things that you shouldn't be seeing right over here and some t-shirts on this side. I do have an extra table here, which I hardly use, honestly. We have this shelf right here. Again, if you had a roommate, they'll take this half, you take this half, they'll take that half, and they'll take this half. The TV, obviously, you can split that in 2. So you get to learn how to share. There's a safe in here. You can put your money, you can put your valuables, and you are good to go. I rarely watch the TV. In fact, since I got here, I never watched the TV. So I have my protein shake right in front of the TV, and I have my creatine. Speaking of which, let's make some protein shake. Now, as I always say, don't get me wrong, I do like the food on the ship sometimes, but sometimes I just don't get enough protein. So I make sure that I have extra protein shake to make sure that I reach my goal of protein take, because I work out a lot. Let's shake it up. And I'm also going to put 2 scoops of creatine right in here. Now, creatine, it helps with the strength, but also it helps with just cognitive functions. You stay awake, you stay aware, and you stay energized. I like to have creatine. And we're just gonna close, that just like that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and continue with the tour. Check that one more time. Next up. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about my favorite corner in the room. It is this here. This is where I actually make all the content for you guys. This is where I do some editing. Just makes the workflow a little bit easier. All right. So my laptop's over here. On this side here, I have the ship. I don't know what this ship is. I suppose it is the Discovery Princess. The people that lived in here probably are the ones that left this. What is this? I don't know. I don't use that. Sorry. And this is a life jacket. If you want to save your life at sea in terms of emergency, you want to wear a white life jacket. Well, we use this during the drills, if there's any emergencies, if you need to leave the ship, if we need to leave the ship, which is highly unlikely, you will need to wear a jacket. And we explain this to our guests at the safety master station. Now, when you work on board, you have 2 jobs. You have the jobs that you were employed for, and then you have the job of safety. The safety of you and the safety of everyone else. So my other job right here on board, when we do the drills and when we do safety trainings, I am a stay-away guide, which means to say, in terms of emergency, in case of emergency, I'm actually helping guests, guiding guests through the stairways so that they can go to their master station safely and calmly. Okay, now even though I haven't watched TV, I don't watch TV a lot when I'm on board because I've got a lot of work, I will tell you that there are some nice programs on the TV. You can think of it as the Netflix of the ship. Yes, there's some really good movies, new movies that are loaded every now and then, and really it's definitely worth it if you're a TV person, if you watch TV, but I don't. This here is something that a lot of rooms do not have, and this is your AC controller. So I can actually control how cold I want it to be. I can feel the ship is tilting right now. Anyway, you can actually control how cold you want it to be or how warm you want it to be in your room. So this is something very nice. So it's the AC controller right over here. And this here is, I guess, I don't know, I never use this. Ciao. And just so you guys know, smoking in the room is prohibited, and that is why right over here you'll be able to see there is a smoke detector. All right, so smoking is prohibited. And next up, I'm gonna show you my closet. Well, it is safe to say I cannot run out of suits. Honestly, I have a lot of suits. I love good suits. I always carry a lot of suits when I come from home. And right over there, you have another life jacket, and that's an extra one. And then you have my bag over there. Now, again, if there's two people living in the room, you would have one using this side here, and you have another using this side here. As for me, I use both. All right, so in my closet, it is safe to say I can never run out of a suit. I will try to make sure that I will go for 10 days without having to repeat a suit. So I have a lot of suits right over here and some shirts. I do like color. As you can see, I have some different colors of the suits, and I also have some neutral suits just for the formal nights. Now, usually when I'm at work, I'm wearing a tie, but when I'm doing my videos, I like to take my tie off because I think it's more fashionable to have your tie off. But when I'm at work, I'm usually wearing a tie. I'm almost always wearing a tie. So the only thing that I wish I had done better is a place for my shoes right over here. I just keep them on top of my suitcases just to get them off the ground. But I think for now it actually works. I'm gonna be doing some shopping of what I need in this room because I haven't literally done any shopping. So I will do another video where I'm gonna be giving you a cabin tour 2.0 upgraded. And now let me show you the second most important space in the cabina, which is the bathroom. All right, so the bathroom is very, very tight. It's very small, but it does the job. Now, I don't have a problem with this, but if you're a person that is a little bit larger or that is extra large, you would have a little bit of problem. Well, you wouldn't have a problem, but you'd be quite uncomfortable being in this bathroom. But for me, it just works perfect. This is basically how much space there is in this bathroom. Not really a lot to see in here, but you do have a sink as expected with any other bathroom that you go to. Right here, you have my catch the camera. Okay, so right here I have my roll-on, which is Nivea. I generally do bring this from South Africa from home because I try not to run around as soon as I get on board to try to get toiletries and essentials. So I make sure that I have my bag packed with my essential. My shaver right over here. This is really, really cool. As you can see, guys, I do my own beard. Do I look good? I think I do. Most importantly, for my head, I have my shaving sticks. I buy these a lot. I buy those in bulk, so that I don't have to run around looking for those as well. I use razors to trim my beard. There we go. If you didn't know, I do everything by myself. I am my own barber, and I do a good damn job. Let's go into the shower. Welcome to my shower. Okay, so this is the shower. As you can see what I was talking about, guys. So if you're a larger person, sometimes it can be a little bit uncomfortable. But hey, we get creative because this is the space that we have. So we have to make it happen. Okay. And there we go. You have a beautiful shower, and it works. Let's see. There we go. Does it work? I think it does. Now, one thing that I'm thankful for this cabin is that I get to have a room steward, somebody that comes and clean this room twice a week. Not a lot of people get to have that, and it is absolutely free. But it is up to me to give them a tip because they do a really good job. They make sure that I have clean towels right over here, and they make sure that my shower is nice and clean as well. So definitely they deserve to be treated quite well. And on this side here, I have another shaver. I don't know why I have two of these. And how I keep my beard clean, nice and easy, just like that. See that? I have two of those. My watch, why it's in the bathroom, I don't know. And on this side here, I have more space. I will say that this room has a lot of space for one person. Well, technically it's supposed to be for two people, but it's got a lot of space. Right here, I have my electronic things. I've got my headphones, the remote for the TV. It ties in here. And my watch is actually staying here, including the other one that you've seen in the bathroom, and electronics. And in here, behold, my fridge. What are you gonna find in there? Just water. And there's a Coca-Cola in here. I don't drink this. I think people that lived here, they left it here and it's been there ever since. So I don't drink that. But I have a lot of water in there. Probably you also find some milk. And over here I have a trash can. I missed. Try again. Missed again. Again. That works. And this here is the only companion that I have in this room. Possibly the only thing or person, because his name is Stanley, that gets in this room. I'll have him sit right here. Okay, ciao. Let's close this. Now, to demonstrate how much space you can have if you're sharing a cabin with someone else, I decided to put the top bunk down. So you can see this is all the space that you have. I spent this lunchtime filming this video.